That's you, and you're working at your job. And what you're doing is you're producing value. You're taking in something and you're putting it over here as a package. Alright? And for this, your employer rewards you with money. So the longer you stand there and produce value, the more money you get. You get paid a certain amount for your time, but you do not get paid too much, or else you will leave your job and then you'll be gone. So this guy gives you just enough money to keep you there, but not enough for you to stop working. Meanwhile, where does the money come from? Well, it comes from a printer. There's a printer and it produces loads and loads of money. Okay, and who runs the printer? Well, it's a guy with a freaking top hat. Alright, see if I can draw this. Dude with a top hat, and he has a monocle, and so on. That's a monocle. I know you can't see it. And I made it look retarded, but what can you do? Right, so you get just enough to keep doing this, but he can print as much as he wants for himself. And that is basically how money works. There are other people that play this game differently. For example, you can have a futures contract, and I guess this gets into the question of what is money. It's a piece of paper. But why is it that people accept pieces of paper for payment? You will accept a piece of paper for payment because you know you can give it to somebody else. But why? Why do you accept it? Well, let's suppose you have a chunk of gold. Gold has objective value because it is a fine metal and it can be used to make jewelry, it can be used to make various, I guess, components, electronic components. It's used in satellites, so on and so forth. So, let's say you have a gold bar and it's worth 50,000 bucks. That's approximately how much a gold bar is worth right now. And let's say I'm selling you, and let's say you're buying this gold bar. Okay? So, let's say I'm selling you this gold bar and here's you again. You're a noob. You're buying this gold bar and you're offering money, okay, for the gold bar. Or you might offer something else like a kind of commodity like oil, but for this example, let's suppose it's money. And I tell you, well, listen, I don't have the gold bar right now. You take it off me, you can have it for 49,000, right? So if I cross this price out, I give it to you for 49. And I tell you, all you have to do is just wait a year until I give it to you, because I'll only have it in a year. But you lock in this price of 40,000, which is a fantastic deal. You get 1,000 off. Just think about that. So you give me your money. You think, wow, that's a fantastic deal. You give me your money. and in return you get a piece of paper, a contract, right? So I have your money and you have a piece of paper. Now you can go to another guy. God, I got mad MS Paint skills. Check this out. So you go to another fucking guy, and this is you again with your piece of paper. Oops. Okay, and you tell this guy, look at this great freaking price I got for this chunk of gold. And he tells you, wow, that is amazing. In fact, I'll buy this from you for 49.5 thousand. So you make $500 off this. All right, so this guy gives you money for this piece of paper. All right, he gives you his money, and you now have 49.5 thousand. Okay, you have 49.5 thousand bucks. So what you have just done is you have made $500 out of thin air. Okay. So basically this piece of paper becomes the same as money. It becomes non-existent, but it becomes valuable. You now have 500 bucks that you made out of nowhere. Now this guy has your piece of paper and he can go sell it to the next guy. Or another thing he could do is he could, by the way, that this is called a futures contract, okay? Futures. This looks disgraceful. It's very hard to write in MS Paint. Alright, anyway, this guy now has your futures contract, so what he can do is he can go to the next guy and he can retail this piece of paper for 50,000. Okay? But he will only give it to the next guy in a year. So it becomes 1 year paper. Alright, so draw another sucker here. This guy gets 1 year paper for 50,000, and again, this guy, the guy you sold the contract to, he still has he has the money, right? So he has 50,000. So now he made 500 bucks off the contract. All right. So you made 500 bucks, he made 500 bucks, and he gave this guy he actually didn't even give the guy the original contract. He gave him a contract of the contract, because he's only going to get this contract in a year. Okay, so what he gets is a futures contract of a futures contract. All right, and then you can have a futures contract of a futures contract of a futures contract, and this can go ad infinitum, and this is basically the world economy.